Hi, welcome to Jadekind Gaming. My name is Adam, here with another episode of Order of Heroes. Fourth session, but the first in a new story. Here, introducing Nick's character. Still learning Mutants and Masterminds. I, still haven't quite gotten it figured out myself, and of course he's never actually played, so we're still learning it, and you can still leave any tips or comments down below to let us know how we're doing or what we've done wrong so that we can learn from our mistakes. All right. And you are 16-year-old kid.
So
what do you look like? Before, last time around I forgot for a while. What is your general appearance as an individual, just before we even get started?
a 5'10", 150, blue-eyed, brown-haired, a lanky track kid, just a cross-country runner. Just
Okay. So, we're here. It's Friday, May 7th, 2010.
yes,
You're in bed.
So
Kind of at that groggy point of awake.
my
And then
alarm
you're shaken awake by your mother.
okay.
Slept in. Don't want to miss the championship. She hurries off back towards the other room. Today is the varsity state championship. First day of it.
Okay. Wake up, check the clock, see what time it is.
Just after 7 a.m., you have an hour to get there. It's only about 15 minutes away, but they're probably going to want you to do warm-up stuff before things are actually starting. So,
Okay, go in, take a shower, get out, style my hair with some gel and stuff, the good waterproof stuff, and get my nice little coif going. Come out, eat a breakfast stuff.
as you head towards the kitchen, your mother's saying, "Hurry up, I've got something packed."
Oh, okay. Well, she has something packed already. It's
Yep.
like, okay, Mom.
She's driving you there. It's nearby. She'll watch the race when she has time today before work. She hops in the car, and you start. A few minutes in, she fishes out of her cooler. Protein shake. Drink up.
Start drinking that.
And it's in one of her work thermoses. It's thick, but it's like almost uncomfortably sweet. Not like a sugar sweet, but like a honey kind of sweet.
It's like this new brand.
Yeah. No. Supposed to give you the energy you'll need.
Okay.
Finish it up.
Let's finish it up. Start playing around with the radio. Trying to switch to my stations.
She lets you. You're just kind of quiet. It's about a 15-minute drive, and you arrive. Well, I'll see you after your race quickly, I hope, but otherwise, get to it. As she's pulling up in front and lets you out before she parks the car.
Okay. Head on in. Go find the coach and
Yeah, start stretching.
start stretching it out.
You're on the second race.
Get my hammies. Or whatever racers stretch.
We know sports.
Yes.
We're great at the sports. But otherwise, yeah. This is the state championship, so there's people from lots of schools sort of meeting at a school sort of next one out from yours today. Although tomorrow, if you progress, will not be quite as fun of a drive, as it's a bit further out.
Yeah.
But
finish that in the car after stretch, go to the bathroom, check my hair, make sure all that stayed good. Because if I win,
solidified, so that
because if I win this, I want to look good for the pictures.
well, that would be tomorrow, anyways. But
Yes.
you got 2 days of it. But but you made it this far, you know.
Mm-hmm.
About a week ago, that we're the regional that you got through. So first round, you know, a couple of other schools racing, catching times.
It's like, I know if it's 2010, we're not quite at smartphones, but it's like have a flip phone and...
I mean, there are smartphones. You don't have a smartphone.
No, it's like a flip phone and play my ringtone for Eye of the Tiger.
A couple of the other folks with you know, in your class roll their eyes. They know you. They don't say anything.
You gotta get pumped. There's nothing like an 80s power ballad to get pumped for a montage.
But otherwise...
Put that in the locker, getting ready to go out.
Yeah, it's just sort of have like a bench area where you'd be setting up, but you're not quite at your school, so not quite.
Yeah, I didn't know if they just had lockers.
Extra, nah. It's you use the locker room, and otherwise, you have a bag that you put your stuff in and set it. But small crowd on today's races, being still a school day for everyone else.
Yeah,
but. You see your mother out there, half busy with something with work, writing something on a clipboard, but...
she showed up. She's trying.
Yep.
It's like, I would assume usually in his life, she missed a lot of these kind of things for work.
You made the state championship, she made it for this.
Yeah.
You know? But otherwise, you know, on your mark, get set, and go. That would be an athletics check to see how you do.
Okay, so
you looking up skills, running.
So it's athletics, and is it plus a stat also?
Let's see here. Yes, it would be. Athletics is strength related.
Okay, so plus 9. 19 plus 9.
19 plus 9 is 28.
It's like running, not quite meeting my all-time best time, but I feels pretty good.
Here. I said nothing else. There, so 15, 20. Plus 2. Alright. And make another as you continue.
14, so.
14, so it's standard speed at that point. And you need a third.
14.
And then one more.
Come on high. There we go. That's 23. So 2.
23. This is successful. There's 2 of those. Okay, so you had a really strong start. You took the lead. You took a lead, and you know, and obviously these are all compared to. But as everyone else starts catching up to you, you give your last burst to get your time. What's that? So that's just to do math. So 250, 30, and 30 is 60. So 310, and then 430 feet in, what is that, 4 rounds?
Yeah.
So
24, or yeah,
averaging somewhere between ranks 1 and 2 as if that were your speed. But yeah.
Which
you're good.
1 or 2 versus a 0 is average running.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're definitely pushing up there, but feeling good about it.
Yeah.
As you're kind of cooling down afterwards, walking out the round when you sort of get back to your bench area where your coach is at, and the fellows from your own school. Your mother sort of threw a gate. You did good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make it work. You did great though.
Is it only the one run of the day, or do I have more of this?
You have one run classifying today, basically putting where you're at to start tomorrow.
Okay.
But your class is still there for a few more hours.
Yeah. So
you'll take the bus to finish the rest of.
Yeah. So cheer on everyone else.
Yep. So you're definitely not the top competitor, but you did well. You're probably in the top quarter of today. So
yeah. Stupid rolling 5s and still rolling out normal speed.
Yeah. Right in the middle, you're just like, I'm just an average Joe. I've got such a weak. And your round 1 was, let's just begin by going 250 feet.
Which, again, not my top speed.
Sprinter.
Because even then, I can't get any better. I wouldn't hit another 5.
Yep, nope.
So that was my top speed.
Nope. But, let's see. So yeah, races continue, and yeah, by the time you're taking a bus back to school from there with coach and classmates, you have a couple classes remaining, heading back to Winter Park High School. Go Wildcats!
Yes.
But you had let's see, Mr. Lindenberg's American Literature class has just started around the time that your coaches, has passes sort of written for each of you as he hands to you as you're leaving the bus to head straight there.
Yes. I assume we took showers back at the other
Yes,
state.
you would have done that well during the time of all the stuff waiting with doctors and all the other runners. As much attention as you were surely paying to all that. Basically, you are waiting the day to see where you actually ranked once everyone had ran. But yeah, so you had to class. Sneaking in there, and enough to know he reads it. Oh well. Continuing on.
Yeah. Throw my bag under my seat and pull out some notebooks and stuff.
But boring, as expected.
Just doodling on a piece of paper, like the little ticker tape thing you run through at the end of a race, kind of things. Little 3-tiered standy thing.
But otherwise, class lets out. You need to gather things for Mrs. Glenmark's chemistry class is your last class of the day. Though, as you head through the hall, maybe go into your locker or whatever between classes, a quite familiar face catches up with you. Jessica Shakes.
Man, her life has to be horrible. There are no amount of jokes that goes with Jessica Shakes.
A cheerleader.
Oh, God!
We're in a comic book, man! Catches up to you. Hey, how did your race go today?
I got top 25%. I felt I could have done a little bit better in the middle, but it was a pretty good effort overall.
That's good. You're great. You're made it in for tomorrow?
Yes.
I don't know if you wanted me to. I was thinking since Saturday I could maybe come cheer you on.
Sure.
She flirts a little bit more. So maybe the bell sort of starts to ring and people are clearing their wink. Gotta go.
Yes. Gotta go make up.
And
make
as she
chemicals.
Yeah. And as she turns to walk away, it's almost like as you watch her skirt swish and sway, that she's walking away in slow motion. No, really. the whole hall is moving in slow motion. The world is just slowing down. You're a little concerned. You're not sure if you were drugged or what's going on, but
It's like,
all of a sudden...
deep breaths, calm my mind. It's like, just in case this panic attack or something, and just in the hall.
Just stand there.
Take a couple, stand there, take a couple deep breaths, try to relax. Like, man, the high after running.
Takes a moment, and really it feels like it takes a few minutes. You just... as people are slowly filtering into classes.
It's like, what is insight? But otherwise, just trying to figure out if this is... it's obviously not normal, but do I just think it's in my head? None of these have skills.
No, they don't. Would be awareness.
Awareness. 6. So 20.
And there is, I guess,
Insight.
20. Yeah. I mean, logically, it would almost have to be. You don't have huge amount of information to go on, but
putting what intelligence I have, I'll go, which is a 0. I'll go ahead and take a pen out of my pocket and drop it. Reach down and catch it before it hits the ground, but it obviously going also actually slow.
Nope, you reach and you grab it. And as you're spending time focusing on that, things start to go back. So at this point, everyone is just about filtered into classes. You're in the last couple of doors shut, and you're now in an alone hallway.
Sure. Not at full speed or even half speed, just jog off to the chemistry class.
Easy enough. And, a little more, perhaps, interest in that. But...
if my powers fully awakened, I would have been in that state for like 2 hours.
You were in that state for about, whatever the time for people to walk into classes. So
It was 2 minutes, so 4 out of 10.
Which also, with the way your power works, I believe you get to choose how much you don't have to go all the way.
Yeah. No, you can trigger that perception rate. That's why people can actually surprise speedsters. They've tried. I'm betting don't live their life in that mode all the time.
They can get boring. But otherwise, yeah. No, chemistry class. Basically, just today, a lot of notes.
It's like I tried to do good in this one because Mom expects me to.
Yep. Otherwise, after that, we're clearing out and grabbing things and heading to buses home.
We'll chat with some friends, see if we want to meet up later in the evening.
You probably don't want to. You have to have the same 8 a.m. start tomorrow, but you have a 3-hour drive to get there.
Okay.
So, you're waking up at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah. Head home then.
Yeah. But, otherwise, yeah. No. You got the first couple hours at home before your mother arrives. Just kind of to yourself.
Does she normally cook, or if not, then I'll start something up?
She'll often will. Though it's usually a little later for dinner. Obviously, plans today may be different since earlier to bed. But,
So, put together spaghetti and meatballs or something.
she's quite impressed when she gets home.
Mm-hmm.
Over dinner, discusses, how'd you end up faring out?
Getting the top quarter and going in tomorrow.
Well, want to get to bed early.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anything else you need to do before?
Probably make sure all homework's done.
Tomorrow is Saturday. So.
Oh, yeah, true. But do some of it just so it's not weighing in my mind. But
most of what you have, you probably would have had for a few days since many of your classes you'd known would have had to give stuff to you early since you've missed. We're missing probably, I'm guessing, 5 classes for the event. So, but yeah, you're able to finish a little bit up, get to bed.
Just enough to tire out my mind, basically.
Yep.
Try to go to bed early.
And then,
actually, remember to set my, alarm.
You'd said it before.
Uh-huh.
You just...
Unplug my alarm clock, go to the other side of the room, plug it in, set the time, then set the alarm. This time I got you.
And is the next thing you're conscious of.
Spend a minute slapping my side table. Hi, won't you shut up?
Oh yeah.
Eventually, groggily look up over at the thing. So why are you over there, you evil little bastard? But get up and wander over, hit the snooze, and look back at the bed. It's go start taking a shower.
You hear mother getting ready as well. And off for a 3-hour drive.
Brought a book with me this time.
Yeah. Small talk in the drive. Anything.
What's she doing at work with her chemistry stuff?
We've been, working on things, trying, some recent government grants, trying to make things up. Partnering with a few other departments. She works for Futech Incorporated.
Few? As
in future tech.
Oh, okay.
Pushed together.
Okay. That makes sense. I was thinking FEW.
Nope.
Small amounts of tech. Just a few.
Futech. Her name, Julie.
Metagamey, but how prevalent are superheroes and supervillains? Are they just going to be starting to show up?
They are just going to be starting to show up.
Okay.
I mean, you've definitely heard things, maybe occasional rumors of things that are...
Well, I didn't know if we had, a historical thing hey, Captain America, that guy was literally superhuman.
If they had any equivalent to that, that would have been something that... maybe a similar event, but it wasn't public. It wasn't like the face of the army. It might have, they might have had some things like that, but they were used for their purpose and kept hush hush.
We kept our super soldiers on the down low, like smart people.
Otherwise, you end up with the other side trying to get your super soldier serum and getting their own super soldiers. I mean, you just...
Yeah. So nothing in the news recently to talk about?
No, nothing along that lines, no. At least nothing that is evident to being towards that.
The space station thing wouldn't have happened yet, right?
I think it would have.
No.
Although the extent of knowledge with the space station isn't so much known. Although you would probably be aware of the on the more coastal side of things, dealing with the oil spill from the When was that? That was.
Because I haven't actually. Nope. I know a bit about their stores, but I didn't know.
April 20th is, I think, when that was. Yeah, 19th, 20th, something like that. So that was
an underwater oil thing.
That was the whatever, the New Horizon oil rig in the Gulf. The whole BP incident.
Yeah.
It basically flooded the Gulf with oil.
Okay. So
that would be a noteworthy thing. Living in a state that joins the Gulf.
Yeah.
But cleanup is continuing. But you're very much center Florida.
Yeah.
In Winter Park. Although you are now headed out to up to Jacksonville. A 3-hour drive, so.
Ooh.
Otherwise, yeah, you make your way up to there. Again, a bit more of a audience and crowd for this the final day of the championship, being on the weekend. So you've all gotten your places. You are fairly near the end of the period to run with where you've ranked. But otherwise, as you sort of sit in your area, you just watch the races, you look around to what's going on, you kind of have some free hours, as it's like, you get there, and you've warmed up really, and it's like, you have a couple hours really before you're actually running.
Yes. But still, good sportsmanship to show up, not just for your event.
Yeah. Ultimately, it also kind of gives you an idea of where you're trying to...
Yeah. What target time?
Yeah. How much extra effort am I needing to put towards my run?
Fun times. Guessing down in the belows, talking to coach, getting any tips, cheering on teammates and stuff.
Yep.
Being buddy, cracking jokes.
But, and they're, looking up, of course, your mother's there. There's a few people from your school that have driven up to go. Jess did make it.
She in normal clothes, or she actually...
She's in normal clothes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's not actually... There's no... Sorry, your track and field championship does not have a cheerleader actual presence.
Yes. Well, I didn't think so, but if she showed up in it, that would be another thing.
Yeah, no. So,
yeah, just...
But she's... Ultimately, if you look over... Through most of it, she's not really paying attention to the racers beyond.
So maybe not an actual track fan versus me fan kind of thing. Yeah.
You kind of get that feeling. It's not the first time that she's stopped. She's a very familiar face to be a little flirtatious with you. Otherwise, just hanging out, focusing on the races.
It's like about 10 to 20 minutes before my race, sit down, do deep breathing exercises, try to get centered.
Do some extra stretches right before, get prepared. Yeah. And you're on the line. Can make your
first
athletics checks.
Okay, so 23. Which is
2. That's 120 feet. Okay.
It's like 16s or better. Come on. Goddamn 5. 14. So normal.
Yep.
14 again, so 2. 10 is Or 19, so 1.
At that point, you'd finished it. So.
Okay. So 2 2s, a 1, and a 0.
Feel probably a little slower than maybe you'd done yesterday with that.
Yeah,
because the 3 is 250, so 2 2s is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I got 6 overall yesterday, and this was 5,
Yeah. But still, overall, there's a couple other races after yours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, during which point you're probably kind of rough on yourself.
Yeah.
I go take the time to clean up in the shower before, while you're
angry with my slow times.
Otherwise, others finish. You don't quite get the top rank. You're still, you feel there are definitely plenty that had not done quite as well as you, but
did not place in the state
did not place.
Yeah.
There's always next year.
Yeah.
I wonder how you'll do then. As groups sort of mingle, Jess makes her way through a bit of a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
You did great.
I did okay, but...
You ran faster than I could run.
Yes. I did run faster than you can run. But, yeah. I'll chat with her some.
Yep.
Try to lift my spirits with some outside adoration.
And you just sort of focus on that. And at a certain point, her words almost slow as she's in the middle of talking to you. And the whole world
slows
slowing down.
Man, these post-race ties are getting weird. But again, I'll go to my center place. I think that'll be a thing. It's the stop, deep breaths. Is she waving her hand?
Yeah, yeah, she's doing that.
Stop. She very slowly makes a weird face after I talk.
Yep.
You okay?
Eventually, you're definitely noticing as she's seeming confused, but getting there very slowly.
I do my best. I believe it was Chris Tucker impression. Or do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth real slow? I can't remember what time frame that movie came out.
I do not. It feels old, but this is a long time.
Yeah.
But otherwise, focus. You don't have to look it up.
Yes, I do. But keep going.
You sort of focus on figuring out the situation. Eventually, she starts coming back into speed.
Normal speed.
As your focus is more on what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
What's
1998? Man.
Yeah, no, it was old at that point then.
Yeah.
Yes, as she's asking, are you okay?
Yeah, just weird post-runner highs. Everything seems to slow down a little. Just gotta catch my breath and wait it out.
Huh.
Just something that's been happening.
I was just asking if you wanted to go get some burgers tomorrow.
Sure. Name a local burger joint that everyone loves and is completely local to us.
Yes.
Because every town has one of those.
Have the same things. They have the same things we have. It's the same.
I'm sure Florida has different things.
They got Bojangles and they got Del Taco, which we don't have, but that's basically the same.
Well, they probably have local mom and pop joints. It's 10 years ago. They're even less forced out of business now.
Yeah, I'm sure they might have. I just never went.
You're an exceedingly poor college student.
I was not exceedingly poor. I had that debt money.
Oh, yeah.
That was before the realization of this is poor sunk in.
Yeah.
Although he didn't have a car for half of it, so.
Yeah, so. Well, I'm guessing he doesn't either.
No. No, you don't. Did you spend points on it?
No.
You don't have it. But, otherwise, she'll talk a few moments, and she has some friends that she'd gotten a ride up here with.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point you start realizing, you should probably find your mother. She's...
Yeah. Go find her.
And she's a little more, grounded with what the expectations were.
Yeah.
She seemed to have even higher hopes that you could. But she works to cheer you up on the drive home.
Yeah.
Stops by Applebee's on the way back.
Family fun time.
But otherwise, you have a little more normalcy with getting to bed that evening. Not having to set an alarm bright and early.
Probably try to underline chatting with some friends on the phone, and then maybe playing some video games or doing the rest of my homework. Just normal Saturday stuff. Try to get back into normalcy or normality. Some people get really offended when you use the wrong one of those.
English. They mean what you want them to be. It's how English works.
Indeed. Or, yeah.
So, just relax during the evening. Otherwise, next day arrives. You wake up from a dream. It's a good dream. And you get up. You start to move. And you have no sense for it. But just as you're probably getting up and heading to the bathroom from waking up, things seem off. Almost as you open your door and you move it, just once you let go of it, and it just doesn't keep quite the same momentum.
Early enough, I won't have noticed that. Keep going to the bathroom, and once I start the shower, I'll probably notice something's off.
As water begins to...
Well, that can't be good. That's not front-running. Yeah. After that keeps going for like more than 2 or 3 seconds, I start panicking a little. It's like, okay, this has happened multiple times. Go tell my mom. Go up to her door, and it's like, if I'm fast, I knock very slowly on her door. And then I wait for like 20 minutes.
It doesn't take too long, because as your brain switches and focuses on the fear, your body calms down, and by the time she opens the door, things seem normal. So
smart enough to not just play this off as this has happened multiple times. I start telling us like everything keeps going slow. Like from Fridays, like after the races, I'd get little brief times of everything seems to slow down.
Brief times of it?
Like explain the hallway, then
she as you're putting through. Let me finish waking up. Put on some coffee for me.
I'll go back, turn off the water, then go start up a coffee.
Yep. She gets out and she starts doing that. But not during the race. She sort of starts trying to. She feels almost a little dodgy with trying everything. So it's. And what's tying these all together? Is there any link with? You said it was after you'd ran.
Yes.
Like just after. So as adrenaline's calming down is when it had happened.
Well, I think back over. It's like technically, well, speaking to is it Jess?
Yep.
Jess, both times or right after Jess started slowing down. Then when I first woke up this morning, I think I had a good dream. Maybe it's positivity. Or horniness? I don't know.
Welcome, 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And so when things slow down, how does your own... is it just perception? Or?
No, I even the first time I did a pencil drop test, and was able to drop the pencil, watch it fall, then catch the pencil before. So it seemed like even if barely I was moving at the faster speed.
Would you mind taking a trip to my office today?
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's like, this is panic-inducing. I want to figure that out.
Yep. So she'll start getting herself ready.
What you looking for?
You head out there. You probably finished getting ready yourself for the day. And she'll go in on a Sunday. Place is almost empty. It's the weekend.
Yeah.
But it's their badge to go in. Takes you up to her office and some things. Takes some blood and starts analyzing things.
Have I noticed the need to eat anymore yet?
Not really.
Okay.
Is that actually one of your...
I think I put it down as one of my complications.
Nope, your complications... let's see... Center of attention, desiring motivation, quirk, desire the females, and secret identity.
Maybe I've thought about it, but didn't do it.
That was not one of the ones that you'd given me, at least. So... It is not yet developed. If eventually your powers increase strength, you can add it to or something. But otherwise, she'll As she's basically, running some tests on it, she gets those all kind of started. And brings open a case. And opens sort of a locked sort of box cooler, and pulls out one of 2 thermoses, branded by her work. She opens the empty thermos. So the goal of this was to enhance adrenaline reaction. The idea being, when triggering the things when you have that fight or flight, the idea is that when someone when you're in a situation exerting yourself, the further enhanced ability, we've had situations, faster runners, stronger, the situation. We've had a few test subjects with it, but...
What do you mean test subjects?
The people that have been tested on within our facility.
Well, why would that affect me?
Well, with a releasable product, we wanted to try that.
Wait, you gave me some random thing from your lab?
It's not random per se.
But you still gave it to me without, letting me know.
I know what's best. But for some reason, it doesn't seem to be triggering normally.
But you drugged me? Before a race, you tried to dope me with science?
It's not doping if it's enhancing what your body already does. Well, although this seems off.
And just thinking, it's like, but no, wait, oxygen is doping and that just enhances what your body already does. And that's not allowed either.
Well, it's fine. You didn't race any better.
Okay. True, but still. You just because you failed at having me cheat doesn't mean you didn't try to have me cheat.
You wouldn't have been the one cheating, it would have been me.
Well, they still would have taken the prize and other stuff away if it was found out.
Well, thus you didn't know. And she's comparing things.
Yeah, I'm just pacing back and forth, like trying to get my head around her just drugging me for a human experiment.
Yep.
While she figures stuff out.
Yeah. Something's off on this. She fishes out of her purse a few bucks. If you want to go from the vending machine or something, it may take a bit.
So,
as she's definitely very much realizing you probably want away from her right now.
Yeah. Just head out and go spend all of her money on the change machine. The vending machine.
Yep. But yeah, so you go to whatever, the break room. The soda, the snacks. And someone walks by the doorway and takes a step back. And tilts her head. Hello.
Look up at her.
It's an older lady, probably in her mid-40s. Dark hair, signs of some graying in it. Very much sort of business kind of suit. You're a little young to be in here, I think.
Is it June's or Joy or July? Or?
It is Julie.
Julie. I'm Julie's son. She's working in her office and I'm waiting for her. Chemist?
slips in, goes and gets something from a vending machine herself. What's she working on?
Some sort of enhancement-y thing.
On Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, not sure why she brought you, but very well.
Mm-hmm. It's like, while I'm angry at my mom, I'm not willing to
Yep.
rat her out to what seems like a bossy type lady, because currently, if that happened, I might not be able to be fixed, and still, as BS as this is, she's still my mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll take her drink and she'll continue on, really just kind of keeping an eye on you as she does.
Mm-hmm. Is she just staying in the break room, or
No, like she'll take, I guess she walks away. She's just
eventually leaning back in a chair with like an empty can just balanced on my head,
Yep.
playing back and forth, just sort of bored again.
Mm-hmm. And at a certain point, you realize you're getting close to the time that you're supposed to meet Jess.
Mm-hmm. It's like, go back, find my mom, tell her, it's like,
At the point where you find her, you can tell just walking in the room, she looks worried.
What'd you find out?
There's something else. It's your perception, awareness. There's just perception as a skill. Okay.
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
11.
Um,
Unless it's insight.
So yeah.
Wait, no, perception. That's +4, so 15.
15. You notice that at this point, maybe she has a few things off the side doing things, but at this point she's actually has that thermos over by microscope, and she's checking things with that.
It's like, do you need any of my blood or anything to check that?
She's already checking your blood.
Oh, okay.
That was the first thing that she checked.
Okay.
That since you left, she went from, that was like what she was looking at once she sent you off, to now she's looking at something with what was in the thermos.
Well, it's like, is that one of the thermoses I normally use?
No.
Okay.
It's one of her work thermoses.
Didn't know if there would be protein shakes or other stuff contaminating it. I do mention the protein shake aspect, but
yes, that was what it was, designed as. It's but
the only thing I noticed about it was
a fair bit.
really sweet.
Yeah, and she'll kind of bring you over to whatever microscope, and she'll say, "Here is what I gave you," and she'll have you look under there, and it's inert. But here is what was actually in, or what testing what was at the dregs at the bottom of that have, and there are just little microscopic things, and then here's your blood. The same little things are. I'm not. Something had contaminated that. That is more than what that was.
Keep going. She's tough.
Sorry, you're a little distracting with your messing about on your phone. But sort of explains the fact that
Also 10 years before. It's like, are the midichlorians? As now this is going to be a thing of this, I have to look up my references. You give me a period piece, I'm going to work with you.
Thank you. Yes?
It's like, is it just a bacteria or a virus or something?
We'll definitely keep you under observation.
Mm-hmm.
Continue to report if anything else happens. I mean, I know, well, with the normal one, that was out of the system within usually 24 to 48 hours.
Well, I'll keep you updated.
It's already been close to that, and
is there anything I should do when the slowness happens to break out of it?
think about baseball.
Okay. Well, I have a date. I'm willing to go on that, and I'll let you know if anything happens.
Do you need a ride?
Yes, that would probably be good. Also, a boss lady was poking her head around earlier. I don't know.
Who?
I don't know if I got her name.
Not.
Yeah, I describe her though. Older 40s, business suit, graying hair, temples.
Could be a few people.
Well,
They're in today, but
yeah, she was just wondering why you were in today and why I was here too.
yeah, we don't usually bring people, but given the situation, it seemed fitting. Depending on what she's doing here. Oh well, she'll just sort of, reseal things up, move things into a refrigerator. She goes to a cabinet, puts a yellow stripe of tape over the refrigerator. To whatever mini fridge under the office, and drives you to your date.
Nothing quite like showing up at a teenage date being driven by your mom.
That's how it works. But she'll drop you off. Give me a call if you need a ride back.
Yes. So go in, get a...
Yeah.
If it's just a normal fast food burger joint or more sit down, I'll either get a table or wait for her to show up.
At 16, yeah, probably more fast food burgers here.
Yeah.
With your budget. But, yeah, otherwise, you, I guess have, at least, do you have a game plan with going into this?
If slow down, think of calculus. Ask her about her day. What has she been doing? What have her friends been doing? Just going over different conversations, like, if speed happens, try not to look surprised and dazed for super long periods of time. Don't think of math. Big old saggy math.
That'll do it. But otherwise, with plans to try and
counteract it,
and also just keep where your mind is geared. You're able to enjoy a pleasant evening with a little more knowledge, keeping things normal.
So the slowdown does happen multiple times, or
no.
Okay.
Not if you work to avoid it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because at this point, sort of as your mind wanders certain places.
Yeah. No, that'll be a later testing phase.
Yep. But yeah, so just sort of keeping your head out of the gutter, and it does seem to just be a pleasant evening, and you don't have any issues.
Okay. get a ride home, then Saturday night, so...
It's a Sunday night.
Oh, yeah. Stupid school in the morning.
Yep.
So, yeah. But sit there, maybe take another shower and think dirty thoughts and see if I can trigger it.
Yes, you can.
It's like, then think non-dirty thoughts and see if I can turn it back off.
It takes a little time to get your mind back where you want it, but...
Okay. That can be useful, I guess. So it's like, before I go to bed, let Mom know that it's still happening even today, but I was able to keep it from happening earlier and turn it off and sort of turn it back on.
Good. I did hold this up. She has a printout of about 6 or 7 pages.
Mm-hmm.
And so hands it to you. You can read through that. Leave it in the living room afterwards. That's at least what it should have been. Let's see. I'll continue checking it out, what was actually there at work. But
So,
and looking through, it looks like at least what she's claiming that she was giving you was a little bit, probably more towards the oxygen side of things, more towards, that kind of level.
versus just cocaine or human growth hormones.
Yeah. Definitely something that is pushing, almost as you see some side notes. And also, throughout this, paperwork is just labeled classified throughout it that she handed you. But some aspects towards almost marketing plans towards something akin to a Gatorade level kind of energy drink on almost like as they're trying to look towards producing a product along that end. So
it's like that still seems like it would go through tons of FCC.
It would have to go through FDA before it was out there, but that would be, you're definitely seeing some notes towards that being processes that they're working for. As that, it looks like, okay, well, there've been, the testing here for safe, and they've done all that here.
About halfway through it, realizing how much there is, I try an experiment. Go back to my room, pull out a magazine, and sit there and flip back and forth. Because I figure the hard sciencey stuff will slow me down, but I can flip back over and keep that and see if I mark down
the way your powers as developed work. Do they want you to just read fast?
Yes, quickness.
Then yeah, that will work. Because that would
yeah, very much. This time slowing down, I haven't noticed any extra speed. I've only noticed the quickness
the
effect.
Awareness, yeah, because you haven't moved.
No.
Notes on what happens when you move.
No, this is obviously not a speedster power. This is a mental enhancement for quickness power.
But yeah, so you're able to get through the rest of it pretty quickly.
Yes. Yeah, it's like make plans to experiment more with it tomorrow after school, but given that I'm a teenage boy, I know how to fight off such attacks already. It's like I should be able to get through school fine.
Yeah. You're able to have a normal day of school.
Still do stuff like try to show off during gym or answer different questions and stuff. Just be, usual self-centered attention, trying to do that.
Trying to still stick to who you are. Yeah.
I don't know. This is Florida. I know in Missouri I could just go off and find a field or some trees. Is there isolated spots in Florida I can just head out to? And
they're marshy and they may have alligators.
I plan to try to think of any place that if I can't, my plan is to come back to school after, during the nighttime, let my mom know about it, and use the track to test others.
There are depending on how isolated you're looking for. Because, I mean, there are just, quaint neighborhood streets and things like that.
Yeah, but there are a lot more. It's like, if I go jogging at super speed in a neighborhood, people would probably notice, but versus a field or even the school after dark.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm trying to keep a lower profile. Because I realize, well, this is weird for me. I can kind of control it, but if someone found out that happened, my mom could probably go to, like, prison or something.
Yeah.
So, trying to keep that on the down low.
But, so do you just, jog up to school in the middle of the night, or?
How far away is school?
It probably was. It's probably about a 10-minute drive. So, however long that is.
In that case, I will let her know and see if she'll drive me, and she can help with testing then.
Sure, yeah, she'll take you. Yeah. And so just sort of stand off to the side and...
With the stopwatch and stuff, it's like, okay, well, I'll do a round on my normal running, then I'll think stuff and try it again. Do you want me to roll?
No.
No. Well, that is what I'm doing then. Seeing if I can trigger the slowness and then run while in the slowness.
And you can.
And do a loop and ask her if there was a difference in time.
Well, you just kind of... you just gonna take a few steps.
I'll try it again.
And she just kind of looks surprised as... That's unusual.
It's like... use some insight to realize she's seen me go
Seeing you just be here and then you just right over here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try. It's like, okay, I'm going to start here, I'm going to end there. Tell me if you see me going in the between. I'm going around the track, not just walking over to there. Try it again.
No, you just... How can that be? You just... teleport?
No, I'm physically, like, the time is slow, then I'm running like I normally run and on track and going all the way around the track.
And each time you do it, there's a little time probably in between once you've done that where things are slow. And But yeah.
Yeah.
Also, after a few rounds, the inside liner between like your sleeve, your shirt, and between your pants feels hot.
Yeah, I'll bring that up too. It's like...
If you like you can almost like feeling it, like it's almost like that thread-borne, as fabric starts to wear away.
Yeah. Actually, take off the jersey and examine it. It's like, is it actually thinner than the rest? Yeah,
it's thinner than at this point.
Bring that up to her. It's like it seems like whatever it is, while I'm not feeling it really that much, my clothes are. That's going at that speed and rubbing against each other.
I think we have a department that may have something that can... Well, that problem will fix. At least we could do, right?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you need to test tonight, or...?
It's like... Visibility, super speed, I'll go and get some weights or other things or just rocks and see how dexterous I can be at this speed, and I'll, like, do a stack of stuff. Like, does that just build up or just appear to you?
I'm thinking with my power work, it would just basically...
Also be
Yeah.
Invisible until finished and left for a second.
I mean, I guess if you're building up individual pieces just running, maybe, just quickly appears from the bottom.
Yeah, it's like basically get a bunch of stuff. It's like sat down, trigger the thing, and just start stacking them on top of each other. Because, I don't know, my since my invisibility is while moving, when I'm in that state, am I moving? Even if I'm sitting there, or are my hands invisible?
It'd probably be your hands are invisible. Like, yeah, like almost the point where at that point she can almost tell the...
Mm-hmm.
And once your hands come back, there's a stack.
Yeah. So, it's like everything's aimed.
It almost happens all at once, kind of thing. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I do not.
I can tell you what my office developed would never allow anything like that to happen.
Oh, great. Any news on what the metachlorians were?
No.
Any knowledge on how they got in there?
I've requested to pull tapes.
Mm. Okay. It's like, well, at least I kind of have a handle on it. Super speed.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Looking at my stuff, like, I probably won't, unless someone smarter than me points it out, or other stuff happens. I probably won't realize movement on wall crawling and water walking, or am substantial for a while.
Yeah, no, that those seem like things that definitely you'll figure out later on.
Yeah.
But, otherwise...
Well, one last thing was like, okay, let's see if everything else, like, here's this rock, toss it at me, and see if it's slow-mo and I can just easily get out of the way.
Throw underhand.
Mm-hmm. Just watch it go by and easily able to get out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if that fully triggered my +10 to dodge, but yeah.
She's not exactly
throwing fastballs at me.
Yeah, that's not her strong suit.
Yeah.
She's not a physical character.
Well then, yeah, go home, go to bed.
Yep. She, by the time you wake up the next day, she's already left for work.
Mm-hmm. Grab some cereal or energy bars and head out to the bus and head up to school, making sure. Actually, sit down with any of the homework I've had, and it's like, you know what, I have 20 minutes before school, and see how much of this I can just crank through at super speed.
So as you begin the process,
Mm-hmm.
and you burn through some paper.
That's not helpful. It's like I start trying to fine tune it. It's like the reading I can go super fast if I'm gentle with the pages.
Yep.
And then I just try to fine tune the quickness not to ignite the paper from friction.
Yep. Takes a little work.
Mm-hmm.
Figuring out your speed.
Mm-hmm. Just dialing this in.
Yep. Put some work into it.
Mm-hmm. Then get on the bus and go to school.
Yeah. Another day. Do you, standard classes and such, do you try to use it at all during just normal classwork, or just keep it under control while you're around?
Like, every once in a while, if I have, like, the back row of the classroom and something's asked, I'll try to trigger it, read the answer, then answer the question, and raise my hand.
I'm sorry, my brain is also just triggering the, what are you doing to your body, getting yourself trained to just be able to turn that on and off?
I'm horny, I'm not horny, I'm horny, I'm not horny. Eventually, it will be a mental trigger not tied to that.
Yeah.
It'll be tied to the power.
Unless you want it to be, that's up to you, but...
Yeah.
But that's probably more what you're trying to figure out triggering as you keep going back and forth is...
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that still triggers it, but you're managing to trigger it with just some key thoughts that lead towards that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Condition yourself to...
Yeah, well, that's what you gotta do with a power like this, so it doesn't ruin your life.
Yeah. But basically
Yes, exactly.
Um,
Also seek out...
let's see, that would be... the stealth check, agility.
Oh, I thought it would be deception. Seven, if it's just agility. Or rustling of pages.
And just your book falls to the floor and you just go back into... Try to...
I'm sorry, book trigger.
As you probably looked it up, gotta put it back, and as you're getting the book right in the same spot, it... you just pushed it to where...
The answer is, just completely ignore the book and give the answer.
As if you just go...
Yes, try to, if she's in the same one, try to find Jessica?
Yeah.
Jess for lunch.
Yep. You know. She'll continue to flirt and get to know you, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's always game for that, so...
Yes. Also, putting my power to the test of being able to focus on not triggering it, even in the other situation.
Yep. I was probably talking a little bit, less than a month to summer break at this point.
And finals and stuff are coming up. I forget, is it prom or homecoming at the end?
Well, homecoming is definitely near the earlier part.
Yeah.
I don't know that prom's near the end so much as near the middle. But that would not something that has passed by this point.
Okay. Oh yeah, just chatting with her hobbies and friends and all that.
Yep. Keeping up conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But and she'll of course stop. Daily stops by probably right between those last hours where her class crosses yours. And
yeah. Ask her what she's gonna be doing during the summer. She has any plan to go over to the ocean. Well, maybe not with the oil, but maybe the other.
There's
side.
the other side.
Yeah.
But she'll make some days out there.
Mm-hmm.
My family's taking a trip up to New York for a week during the summer.
Gonna be honest, given the setting in my mind, it's like, man, that's such a death flash you just threw. New York in the summer, something horrible's gonna happen to New York.
Fine, I'll put a note about it.
Don't fridge a character. Has anyone explained fridging to you?
No.
We'll have to do that in the context of superhero comics.
Whatever. But,
so yeah.
Otherwise, another day.
Tonight, given what Mom said, and I'm basically invisible, I'll see how far I can go, like...
When you get home, or when your mother would usually get home, she does not.
Mm. Does she often work late sometimes?
Not often, but, occasionally, but...
Oh. Like after about an hour, I'll call her cell phone.
It rings a few times and goes to voicemail.
Mm. And call up to Futech.
Mm-hmm. Their office is closed for the day.
Mm. Well, I haven't tried that, so I was planning to try this anyway. I'll try getting in the Mind Stick and run up there. See if people notice me while I'm going that speed and how long it takes to get over to Futech.
At this point, you're there in...
seconds.
It's probably been like a minute or whatever for as you're still developing things, but
yeah.
You get there, and our car is in the parking lot. A couple others, and a police car.
Go to the police car and see.
No one's around there. They're all just parked in the parking lot.
Go
They're the
to
ones that are left.
the front desk, see if they
Well, the doors are locked.
locked. Knock on it, see if anyone comes.
No one seems to reply.
And go to the other entrances, see if I can see anyone in there.
Any other entrance is just sort of a, metal emergency exit kind of door.
Well, I go through and knock on some of those, see if anyone comes.
No one seems to be.
Go back to the front door. It's like,
How long do you wait around, or?
Trying to think of something. Probably takes me another 10 minutes. So I try calling the office and her direct line, and then, her cell phone game, other stuff, trying to get a hold of her, letting her know I'm out here.
Probably takes about another 40 minutes before
Mm-hmm.
you kind of see things, and they're walking out.
Yeah, sitting on Mom's car hood, waiting.
She glances over, but tries to just make nothing of it as she continues talking up with them, the officer, and
Mm-hmm.
makes back. Hop in.
Oh,
She, as if she was, just basically as she's turned away from them and towards you, sort of acting like she's expecting that you were out here waiting.
yeah. Get in the car then.
Yep. She'll sort of start driving home.
What happened?
Well, it's well, you met Miss Catron?
Business lady?
Yes.
On Sunday? Yeah.
Yeah. That was the last time. She hasn't been in yet this week, as from security footage, she cleared some things out while she was here. She was the last one that had been entering our office before, or our lab before that had been taken out, so.
Oh. Weird. Just, I guess the police filed a missing persons or something?
We've just sort of put reports that, she is not responding to workplace tampering.
Mm-hmm.
So, just that we get reported if she's found, but otherwise, she was doing something in the office. I got this. Ironically enough, well, she left some of it behind, and she sort of tosses what is basically like a gray kind of mesh lining. Not quite jumpsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Should be able to trim that as needed to fit underneath, but it's like sort of a fabricy gray material. She was in the mechanical office. They used that under some of the power suits they were developing.
Wait, you guys have power suits?
We did.
Did she take the power suits?
Yes.
Well,
I mean, she's checked them out to go to remote facilities before, but she's the last one that had one of those. I mean, we still have one left, but
wait, are we talking like aliens, like the power lifter?
not my department, but something.
Yeah. Yeah, just trying to think of what kind of exosuits they got.
So,
by the way, after my reading of those classified things, how much would that supposed to improve a person, like, by 8%, or because this is obviously hundreds of percent improvement.
You probably equivalently, it probably should have given you, we'll say a plus. We'll say that with that one, probably about a +5 to your roll would have been the equivalence for what it should have done.
That's still super
Substantial.
powerful.
Yeah, it's substantial. And it probably should have only lasted for, less than, maybe a handful of hours.
Because it's almost a 50% boost. Like, giving it to someone unaware could probably hurt themselves if you're just 50% faster or stronger.
It also, from that, would only trigger during moments of exertion. So you're having to basically be in an adrenaline high for it to work. Where your body is already probably would normally be giving you a +2. It's just increasing that a little bit further.
Gotcha.
So it is basically supposed to be completely inactive if your body's not doing something, but when your body does do that, pushing you up kind of thing, that it does a little further.
Okay, so it's not a +5, it's a +3 to when you get
it's taking it when you get your normal bonus, making it a major bonus.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I guess we think she may have done something to or at least had the opportunity.
She had the opportunity.
Yeah.
And maybe her phone died and she's just, been out working on another project somewhere else. It could be nothing. But
did the police check her house?
They've just gotten the report. They'll have to do that.
Oh, okay.
They'll let us know if they find anything, but...
Okay, well... tell her my advancements for the day of realizing I can do the super speed reading and retain it and work on stuff, and that I was able to run up to the office and no one noticed.
Yeah, wondered.
It's like my plan for the night, if you'd been home, was to see if I could go up to one of the interstates, because that'd give me a big flat straightaway to actually get some speed tests done.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Just cars.
Yeah.
Plus, maybe they'd see you if they're already moving.
Relativistic speed, yeah. Okay. I'll keep it to surface stuff because where everyone's slower. Because when I'm in that mode, cars don't move very fast at all.
Maybe. Just be careful with it.
I will.
And as you get home and you see whatever the clothes that you'd worn today, again, just have that thin section from running up to the office. And
set up to... It's like, if I'm going to do running and I don't have this much material, I'll go ahead and pick out some...
It looks like something that you could just basically wear under a normal...
Well,
it's not, it's not anything fancy, but it's something that you can kind of tack under jeans and a t-shirt as long as you wear.
Even if it did that would be the protection on the inside. The clothes would still be rubbing against itself on the outside.
Yeah.
So they're still going to thin out. But, okay.
Yep, no. But it'll aid some some benefit in that. For the time being, as you figure out more exactly what you need, you can sure work with that, but it's enough that you can stop worrying. Otherwise, where we're going at? Going to Wednesday morning. Another day of school. Same old.
Yeah. Still keeping up, stand out, talking to Jessica, talking to friends, see what their plans for the weekend are, if they have any.
Several of them definitely just looking forward to having the ability to relax as the last few weeks have been
Mm-hmm.
trials and
Yeah.
various levels, championships, and
Do I have a house with a backyard?
Yep.
Okay. Want to get home,
backyard.
like it's
Give me that thing.
fenced?
Okay. Yeah, you have probably a backyard with a. It's a quaint house. It's small, but it's just you and your mother, so it does there. It's whatever, 2-bedroom kind of thing. It's got detached garage that's sort of in the back that has sort of like a storage shed equivalent to the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
Wooden fencing that's not in the best condition, but blocks plenty, especially as there's trees and vines and stuff that kind of grow around it. You do have a pool.
Okay.
Which thus the shed has a lot of the stuff, all housing for that. Otherwise, as far as the grounding, you can make small laps around the pool, you'd think, but it's not a large backyard. It's maybe got about 6 or 7 feet on either side of that.
Go to a room, like find some old stuff like bouncy balls or baseball or something, and I'll start trying to play catch with myself. Throw a ball over to me, run over, catch it, throw it back, and then start adding more. Like
more helps, because otherwise you're waiting.
No. Yeah, so just going back and forth, juggling with myself, basically. Trying to get fine control.
At a certain point you go back and forth, at a certain point you go back, and you do notice off to the side that your mother is just standing at the door, sort of looking towards the middle of where you're...
Once she's back, I'll go ahead and catch the stuff and slow down and come up and talk to her.
Yeah, see that basically she can see the balls flying through the air as they're going through, but...
Which, as I stop and realize, I'll also have to check and see how transferable that motion is, because they seem to be going at normal speed. I don't know if I could throw them at super speed and they would be going super fast, though.
I don't believe you have anything that does that.
No, exactly. But it is a test I would have to check. It's like, for whatever reason, once I let go of this thing, it drops back into normal speed, even without conservation of momentum. Even against the laws of conservation of momentum, because theoretically, I should be able to hold something out to my side, run at super speed, and just let go, and the thing would fire off like a rocket.
No. You want that? You spend the points. Points over physics.
Yep. Because this game, slightly unlike the D&D ones, more wants to lead in and say, physics. You're like, get that physics out of my game with your water pressure systems and portals.
David.
So yeah, I talked to her, see if they found anything more about the lady.
She wasn't at home. So we found that. So she's still not reported, although, again, she's had things with some of the things she's tested that, if she usually would have left a note if she's going, but there are other remote facilities, bunkers to be able to test certain things that...
As she keeps saying this, I'm like, wait, you're working at bunkers?
Well, I mean, if you need to... My department doesn't use them.
Futech, making Power Man armored bombs and the next generation of Gatorade. All under one umbrella. Oh, like the Gatorade stuff wouldn't have, every country sports organization just say, no. They have to know that. It's like, we can market it as Gatorade. No one's gonna do that. You can market it as,
it
some
really
wartime drug serum.
Depending on what passes, but yeah, that's...
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware, but various products have been produced with goals for one thing that don't end up going towards that thing.
Yeah. But they seem like smart people and should have realized, wait, no athletic organization will ever let this drug pass. And be available to its users. It's like, no.
There are plenty that have in the past. But it is not unusual to think that might happen.
I mean, maybe for a few months before they get up on it, it's like, oh, we gotta regulate against this and specifically say no. Because much like the rules say, there's no rules saying a dog can't play basketball. Therefore, a dog can obviously play basketball.
That's how that works. That's how sports work.
There's no rules saying you can't use this drug that's brand new.
It's not even a listed substance.
Exactly. So yeah, it's like, do that. Ask her if there's any other tests I should do.
Keep me informed of what goes on and... Be careful.
Mm-hmm. See, we'll have to trip or something to try out.
I said be careful.
No, I'm metagaming, thinking to myself, I'll have to trip.
No, as you start bubbling, have to trip or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, nothing big has happened in town that would have done any attention to me, would it?
No, nothing particular right now.
Okay. Then yeah, go to school. It's like, I'll try to keep a normal life for at least a week before I think to start vigilanting because I have superpowers.
And what's there to vigilante?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, terrorists attack your school tomorrow.
They do not.
Oh, okay.
But,
because that seems to be how superpowers go. It's like, here's your powers, now here's an inciting incident. Versus, here's your powers, nothing weird ever happens to you unless you go out and look for it.
Otherwise, let's see, so that gets through Thursday, pretty normal, unless you had anything else you wanted to test.
Do any comic books exist in this universe?
Yes.
No. So, there's actually Flash comic books of what speedsters could try?
Sure.
Then I will... Yeah. It'll be a very short thing, but I will try to, on my pool, run across the water.
How confident are you?
It's like, given how my power seems to work, the world slows down and I move normal versus I have to be at full sprint to use my powers. Pretty confident that I could run, it's like, get into the slow motion, then just run across the thing and hop down.
Okay. Yeah, if you have confidence with it, then yeah, you can.
Okay, so I figured out water walking while at speed.
Yep.
Like, I'm going to try to think of other stuff, like running up a building. It's like, look at my probably like one-story house. Like,
there are things like that where you'd almost be afraid. I mean, running like up a building, like trying to run into that would basically be running into a building if that failed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of how much damage would you do to you if you hit something with that?
In that case, I'll get a small stick and see if I can vibrate and pass my hand through it. Just like, okay, hand. It's like shake it back and forth really hard, then whoop it. It would be my phasing. I do have that power.
And yeah, phasing here, is that one of the things while moving?
Intangible 4, not while moving.
Okay.
Or at least I believe it's not while moving.
Get checked.
I contend I am, in fact, moving my hand.
You see it, you can point to it.
Phase shift.
Phase shift, okay.
Intangibility 4.
Insubstantial 4. Okay, so that's all it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then, yeah, I guess that's...
Yeah, it's like, just
No modifiers on that.
Nope. Just you can go whoop, 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 whoop. Phase through attacks, do all sorts of fun things. Because it's the form, the big one. Because I'm not a gas.
No, you are not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so...
Yes, we'll let Mom know about those, so I can now pass through things and run on water.
Oh. Let's, come by the office after school.
Okay. It's like, do you know if the cops ever checked that lady's in the house, or they just went by?
She told you yesterday that, well, she wasn't responding, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I guess if you ask that, she doesn't know if they just knocked or if they actually broke in to check, but...
Yeah, because that might be important to check on. But we'll set up to go to her office. That, and I guess if we go to Friday,
I guess actually, no, she probably would say, I mean, there's no warrant that was issued, so they probably just knocked.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's like, do you think we should check inside? It's like, I could probably get inside now without anyone noticing.
I cannot recommend that you do that.
Okay.
But...
Yes.
If she did do this, and she is in there, do you want to find that out?
Yeah, I guess if she's been hurt or had a heart attack or something, I don't really want to see that.
Or that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm set up to go to our office tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, by the way, normal day at school.
Try to plan a date for the weekend with Jessica.
Yeah, that's true. She's game.
Mm-hmm. Feel like I've been really on top of my homework. It's like, you know what? I plan to ace these finals. I'll spend an hour or two reading, front to back my things. I can really cram this in there. It's like, I'll impress my mom. It's like, maybe I won't get a scholarship for running because of these new powers, but maybe I can get an academic one now.
I just had the time to read the books.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, you go to the office, and yeah, she'll run some more similar tests.
While I'm there, also start asking her if I can get a computer from my room. It's like, I believe it would help me with my powers.
We'll look into it.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'm running more tests on blood. Do you just hang out and watch her work, or go chill in the break room, or?
Yeah, unless probably there's not any speed measuring devices in here. It's like, don't need that. Yeah, it's like, go check around the building.
Do you wander off towards the big room and then?
Yeah, it's like,
go elsewhere. You say around the building. I'm just.
Yeah, no, it's like, last time someone weird came in, it's like, see if I can go at speed and like actually try to doors and stuff and go through them to actually check who all is here and if I can stay invisible at speed while going through locked doors.
I gather from that you probably wait, because
Mm-hmm.
you're getting there near the time her office is closing.
Yeah, so I wait for people.
You just sort of hang out with her for the first probably hour of that time until she's at the point working late.
Mm-hmm.
And you're down to if you go outside, it looks like all hers is the only car, or I guess one other car sitting in there, in the parking lot. But we're kind of start just basically snooping around.
Yeah, just poking around. It's like, I wonder what they do with their mech suits and bunkers and other random stuff at this.
Going through, you into things. There's offices.
papers laid out and various things.
Mm-hmm.
All that if interested. Otherwise, there's various departments. You can see, departments for mechanical and engineering, chemistry development, biological.
Biological. Those things were wiggly. I'll see if I can read some of the documents there if they're just out and about.
There's not a whole lot that's been left out, but yeah, you can kind of go through some things. You find here a lot more seeming to do less on papers, less on microorganisms and more on larger, what feels by some of your reading might be animal experimentation, but getting around that somehow, or skirting grounds on things like that. But nothing that quite seems that sort of microorganism that you saw in the blood. At least not from what's out. And that anyone left out on any desk carelessly.
On the scale of 1 to Umbrella, how evil is this corporation?
I don't know Umbrella.
They were the one that made the T-virus from Resident Evil.
I don't know Resident Evil.
Yeah, okay.
But I think that's a zombie one, and I don't think that they're you do not see anything that seems to be working with corpses. So
okay. Okay, it's like so I don't know how evil LexCorp actually is, but okay.
I mean they're definitely. I mean, it seems like a company that utilizes military contracts at points to try and develop things for those. So they're definitely aims towards some of those kind of those side of things, and looking for high investment, looking for large profit. I mean,
they don't seem intentionally cruel, but just
more willing to push boundaries for goals, not trying to
actively screw the world. Let's do these things to see if we can cut off
active war on. So.
Is there 2 at this point?
I don't know. It's 2010. I know we're still in Iraq.
Probably Afghanistan too at that point.
Are those counted as 2 different wars?
Yeah, I think so. No, it's just a forever war that all America kind of ignored for like 20 years or whatever.
I'm assuming we're out of it in real time now, but who knows? I don't want to. As you go past an office, you do see a bright flash of light quickly in one of the dark offices, just through the sliver of a glass door.
Keep at speed and go try to poke my head in. And
so you're just kind of running a lap to stay at speed doing... Make a perception check.
Okay. 6. Yeah. 9.
9? You don't see anything that would have caused that. And you just a single thing around and getting out, or what do you?
Well, a single thing around, then maybe another one to get the nameplate of the office, or
it's like a office with various cubicles and stuff.
Well, is there a
There's
department or numbers on there? Because I can go back.
Room number.
Yeah, check the directory for what's supposed to be in there.
Okay. You find a few names that are on there. Nothing that.
It doesn't say what department it's for. Just some people who are in there.
Nope. Looks like more of an administrative kind of.
Yeah. Like after kept myself entertained for probably an hour or 2, go back to mom and
for an hour. I mean, we're at this point, and with your speed, you are now entertained for about 15 minutes as of the point we're at now.
Oh, yeah.
So if you keep going for a while, and you're phasing through walls, you will find some walls that you smack right into.
Those have to be incredibly dense. If my comic book science is anything to go by, is how I actually face through stuff. Because I'm confident that the power should work because it did in comics. And I'm a comic book.
Well, you're confident it should work because you have phased through other walls at this point.
Yes, but I'm confident the science behind it is the comic book science of less dense things are easier to go through.
Okay. But you do find some of that.
I will circle along those blocks to try to figure out what's in there through, nameplates or door signs.
You circle around that one. That one is Containment 5.
I'll keep that in mind.
There's a single door that enters that.
Hmm.
After probably another 30 minutes of it, you see another flash in a completely different office.
This time I'll just set up phasing and pass through everything between me and it to go through the actual room and go back out the other side to see what happened in there, maybe.
I don't understand.
Like, earlier I was coming around and trying to peek through the wall. This time I'm just going through the room.
Okay, my assumption last time is that you basically phased through the door to run around inside the room.
Oh, okay.
So that is what I had assumed last time.
Okay. And then I try something similar to that this time. Then going into the room, but keeping invisible. 18.
18? You don't see anyone in here.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear normally while you're...
Yeah.
You do hear something creaking up above, though.
Go ahead and look up.
Ceiling.
Run around, try to step up on some furniture and jump face through the ceiling to look up in here.
Looks like there is some large ductwork within the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. It's like, It's like, why is there people-sized ductwork in the building? Haven't these people seen any movies ever?
No.
Oh my god, they're in the ducts, they're in the ceiling. Yeah, no, I'm gonna lean heavy into the phasings, like, try to run along in the walls on top of stuff while phasing and keep checking in the ducts to try to follow those around. Just phasing through everything. And avoiding Containment 5's area.
I mean, I think through some simple matter of communication, you can probably just phase into some of the ductwork. Is that what your goal is, to be able to see into it?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you phased up into the ceiling and you could see there's a duct over there.
Well, I was thinking, it's like, yeah, my head could run on there, but then my feet aren't running on anything if I'm just hanging, so
yeah.
I'm up in the ceiling, leaning down every once in a while to check inside the duct as I'm going.
I mean, you basically would have to climb onto something to get up there and then get down. Because it's not like there's like just something that is that high up that you could just run along to stay in there.
I figured the walls are that high up, but...
Have you figured out that you can run on walls yet?
No, I was going to plan to run on top of the walls. But if not...
On top of the walls?
I figured there's a flat stuff up above the ceiling, but I realized...
The ceiling is not high enough where you could stand up.
Yeah. Eventually I tried to run on the drop ceiling. So I couldn't run on water.
I mean, at that point, if you're up into there, then you would be into the next floor up, though.
Oh.
Because it's only, say that much space between...
Yeah, mostly I was trying to figure out if I could do it at speed, so staying invisible while phasing, but it seems like I'll need to, just find some places to poke my head up because I can phase without moving and check the duct.
But otherwise, yeah, if you check around there, you can see someone is kind of pulling themselves through inside the ductwork.
Yeah, I'll hop down and go tell Mom and, ask for a camera or something. There's someone literally in the building in the ductworks.
I mean, you have a basic, it's a low resolution, but you have a camera on your flip phone.
I behind them or in front of them? Did they?
You were behind them.
Okay. So I can mark where they are, tell her, because that shouldn't take too long, come back, again up behind where they were, seeing how far they've gone. And
they're making their way towards the next office over.
Yeah, I will spend a little bit because going through actual things on the phone will probably be the slowest thing to make sure I don't have the shutter sound or flash on.
Mm-hmm.
Then take a picture of the back and
Mm-hmm.
stuff and just keep following them and
Trying to stay behind them?
yeah, stay
or-
behind them.
Okay. Okay. And they make their way and they stop at another office.
And do I figure out they're just taking a camera flash from inside the ductwork or something?
I mean, what do you...
Once I see them stop, I will go on a roundabout path to keep speed and hop up and look in there, so I'm invisible.
Okay. So are you going into the office that they're
About
stopping?
stop
Okay.
it, so I can
And just
get
keep it at speed in there?
yeah, and hop.
You see, well, without necessarily saying, because you see basically wire
Mhm.
being lowered down with a little, another flat thing in there, and a bright light. And then you see it slowly get pulled up,
Mhm.
and you don't see him move at all.
It's like keep circling while waiting for him to do something else.
So you're circling around as they have just
Flash bombed, taken a
The room.
picture, or spread DNA of everyone everywhere. Who knows what the little puffy thing did?
bright flash.
Mm-hmm.
It lowers down again. It takes another flash.
It's doing the same
And
thing.
another flash. And it pulls it back up.
Mm.
And that's where we're going to pick up next time. You get 1 point.
Woo!
And
My point.
join us next time as we continue this story.
Mm-hmm.